Hello students, welcome to the class of Eden Guru. I am Ms. Dori Duharia, your mathematics teacher for this session. In this session, we are going to start with a new chapter. But before that, let's talk about your favorite food item. Yes, let's talk about pizza first. Now, why maths and pizza? What is the connection? Let's see. First, observe on your screens. We draw the shape of a pizza. This is your pizza. And it is divided into 6 parts. So, let's divide your pizza into 6 parts. Now, the first thing what happens when you open the box of the pizza and you are sharing it with your brother or sister, you start counting. If you have totally 6 parts here, 3 parts are yours and 3 parts is mine. You will do this? Yes, everybody? So now, let's suppose you have got this whole pizza for yourselves. All the 6 parts are yours. And you now start having it. Don't go there in the world of pizza, listen here also in maths. Now here, when you have the first part of pizza, let's shade it. And I ask you, how many parts of the total parts of the pizza you had? Yes, Rohan, you tell me.
Ma'am, 6.
6 parts, but how many parts did I shade?
Ma'am, 1.
1 part. And totally how many parts were there?
Ma'am, 6.
6. So, you had 1 part out of the total 6 parts. And when you have to write and show it, how will you write? 1 upon 6. You had 6 parts which you wrote below this line, and how many you had, you wrote above the line. Now, you had the second part. So, now out of 6 parts, totally how many parts did you eat? The first and the second. Totally 2 parts you have eaten. So, you can denote this as 2 out of 6. Now, when you go further in this process of eating and you are very hungry, you ate totally now 5 parts. Now, if anybody asks you how many part of the total pizza you had, so you will reply 5 parts out of 6 because you have eaten all the 5 parts. Now, this 1 upon 6, 2 upon 6, 5 upon 6 is read as 1 by 6. Now, this 1 upon 6, students, you can read it as 1 by 6, or you can also call it as 1/6. Again, when you look at the next, it is 2 upon 6. Similarly, you can read this as 2 by 6, or you can say it as 2/6. So, in this way 5 upon 6 you will call it as 5 by 6 or 5/6. Now, students, this 1 upon 6, 2 upon 6, 5 upon 6, aren't they different from all the type of numbers that you have learnt till now? natural numbers, whole numbers, integers. These all are different from those numbers. These type of numbers are called as fractional numbers. And the chapter that we are going to study today, note down everybody, is fractions and fractional numbers. So, all this part of whole that you have represented, you had the whole pizza divided into 6 parts. So, that 6 parts also means one whole pizza, and what share you had eaten, you represented it in the numerical form, and this numerical form of your share of pizza, like 1 by 6, 2 by 6, 4 by 6. So, your 4 by 6 students is a fraction, and when you denote it in the word form 4/6, this is known as fractional number, students. So, whenever you have to represent a part of the whole, you represent them in the form of fractions now. Now, let us understand how do you represent these fractions on number line. As we studied, how do you represent integers on number line? In the same way, we will now study fractions on number line. So, if I give you now a strip which is divided, the total strip has been divided into 7 parts, and out of these 7 parts, 4 parts have been shaded. Carefully have a look. 4 parts out of the total 7 parts have been shaded. So, in the form of fraction, Priya, how will you represent this?
Ma'am, 4 upon 7.
4 upon 7, very good. Since 4 parts were shaded, 4 out of 7 parts. So, 4 part out of the total 7 parts, in the fractional form, you write 4 upon 7. Now, let us see how will you denote this 4 by 7 on the number line. So, first we draw a number line and arrow, very important. Now, on this number line, we take the starting point as O and the end point as A. Now, this part of the line OA, you call it as a line segment OA, and this line segment OA, will consider it is of unit length. That means on your notebooks, you can take OA as 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter of your choice. Now, this line segment, you will divide it into 7 equal parts, students. 7 parts. Where does this 7 come from? Here. We have divided the total strip into 7 parts. So, this line segment you will divide in 7 equal parts. That is important. Now, when you divide this into 7 equal parts, and we have taken 4 parts out of this total 7 parts. Now let's observe on your number line where are these 4 parts. Here you have your first part, second part, third and fourth part. And if you count further, you will see this is the fifth part, sixth and seventh parts. So totally you have 7 equal parts. You have to denote 4 upon 7. That means the fourth part out of the 7 parts. So here this point which completes the fourth part can be represented as 4 upon 7. And let's name this as point P. Then you can say point P represents the number 4 upon 7, students. Similarly, let's take one more example of fraction from this pizza. Let's take 2 upon 6. Now when you have to represent this 2 upon 6 on a number line. Students, carefully understand the steps. Whenever you have to represent any fraction on the number line, you first have to decide into how many equal parts you need to split the unit length. Again, let's take a number line, and on this number line we take a segment OA which is of unit length. Now, when I have to decide into how many equal parts do I split this line segment, the answer comes from the number which lies below, students. So here you have to divide the line segment into 6 equal parts. So we will first divide the line segment into 6 equal parts. First part, second part, third, fourth, fifth and sixth, students. Do not draw 6 lines between it. You have to draw 6 parts. So be careful here. And you have to denote 2 out of 6, that is 2 by 6, or you can call it as 2/6. Now, we will start counting the parts. First part and the second part. So here you can represent that this point, let's consider this as B. This point B is 2 by 6, and you can write point B represents 2 by 6. So in this way, whatever point you are using to denote the number, everybody, you will have to use first of all a capital letter. Now, this capital letter will be your required point. So even after representation on the number line, you will specify in words that the point, whatever letter you have used, represents the number, whatever fraction is given to you. Now, when you know what is a fractional number, what are fraction, let's now understand the third point, which is fraction as a part of collection. So when you have a collection, how do you use fraction to represent the part, students? Now let's consider a figure which has 8 circles in it. So we will draw 8 circles here. And out of these 8 circles, 3 of them are colored. So, you have a collection, student, collection of how many circles? 8 circles. Now, out of these 8 circles, the circles which are shaded, have a careful observation how many colors are shaded? 3 circles are shaded here. Now, we had a collection of 8 circles, out of which 3 circles are shaded. So, when you write in the form of fraction, fraction as a part of the collection, the part which is shaded is 3. So, you will say 3 parts are shaded and your collection totally consisted of 8 circles. So, you will write 3 upon 8 is the shaded part. Similarly, if you have 15 triangles and 7 triangles are shaded, 15 triangles, collection of 15 triangles and 7 of them are shaded. So, Varun, how will you write the fraction for it?
Ma'am, 7 upon 15.
Yes, perfect. You have to remember which number should be above your line and which number should be below. The total collection should be below and the number which is shaded, which is a part of the collection, should be above your line. Now, students, carefully listen. What is a fraction now? How you generally represent fraction, students? If you observe this 3 by 8, we have 2 integers. Now, we do not call them as whole numbers or natural numbers because we have studied integers. You have 2 integers, 3 and 8. 3 is also a natural number, also a whole number. You can use any of these words. Now, both are natural numbers. One is above the line drawn and one is below. Let's consider this 3 as A and 8 as B. A upon B are fraction. So, if you take again this example 3 upon 8, here 3 is A and 8 is B. In a fraction, this number above the line, students, is called as numerator and this B is called as denominator. So, if we consider another fraction, 5 upon 9, Priya, what is the numerator here?
Ma'am, 5.
Yes, 5 is the numerator and students, 9 is the denominator. So, the number above the line is the numerator and the number below the line is called as the denominator. So, from now in fractions, we will denote the two numbers as numerator and denominator. Now, students, let's understand a very important part which is going to help you in your further questions. Fractional part of a collection. For this, let's assume an example. Let's take an example. The question asks, find 3 by 4 of 12 students. That means you have a total collection of 12 balls. So, let's draw 12 balls and from this collection of 12 balls, you have to find the fractional part, the value of the fractional part, which is 3 by 4. Now, again, if I remind you of the pizza, 2 by 6 means 2 parts out of the total 6 parts. Here again, in the fraction, you have 3 parts out of totally 4 parts. That means this 12 balls of the collection are divided into totally 4 equal parts. So, first let us divide this collection into 4 equal parts. First part, second, third and the fourth part. Out of these 4 parts, they have asked us 3 parts. So, now let us shade the 3 parts. First part, second part and the third part. Now, when you have shaded the 3 parts, carefully observe on your screens. This 3 parts consists of totally how many balls? 1, 2, 3 and 3 here again. That means totally 9 balls. So, here if you have a collection of 12 balls, we divided into 4 equal parts and shaded this 3 parts. So, we got 3 upon 4 of 12 is equal to 9. So, now from this collection you have found the value of the fractional part. But students, whenever such a question is asked, will you start drawing objects and then find the fractional part? No, right? Now, how do you find this mathematically? Of here denotes multiplication. So, when you solve, you write 3 upon 4. Of means multiply by 12, and here in 12 you only have one number. That means you do not have another number. It does not look like a fraction. So, here how you write in the form of a fraction? When you do not have any denominator, you will consider the denominator as 1 always. So, 12 and 12 upon 1 is the same fraction, students. Now, you can cancel 4 1s are 4, 4 3s are 12 and 3 3s are 9, students. 9 upon 1, which is 9 here. So, whenever you have to find the fractional part of a collection, you will multiply the fraction and the collection. If we take another example, say find 5 by 8 of 32. So, again here 5 by 8 remains the same. Of means multiplication 32, which can be written as 5 by 8 multiplied by 32 upon 1, and now here again you can cancel 8 1s are 8, 8 4s are 32, which means you have 5 multiplied by 4 in the numerator, 1 multiplied by 1 in the denominator, 20 upon 1, which gives you 20, students. So, here students, after learning natural numbers, whole numbers and integers, today you have learned what are fractions. How do you represent them? On a number line. The fraction as a part of a collection, and exactly how you find the value of the fractional part of a collection. Students, there are different types of fractions. Don't worry, we will learn the different type of fractions in the next session. Till then, you revise today's session, and as always, stay healthy, stay happy and keep practicing maths. We'll meet in the next session, students. Thank you so much. In this session, we studied fractions represent part of a whole. The numbers of the form a by b, where a and b are natural numbers, are called fractions. Here a is called the numerator and b is called the denominator of the fraction a by b. Before moving to the next module, solve the following questions.